Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and welcome back to my channel. Make sure my microphone's on again. Today I have a tag for you on Tag Tuesday. It's been a minute since I have done a tag, but this one was a tag that was created by the absolutely wonderful David Wiley. It's his first original tag and he kindly tagged me in it, so I really want to jump on it sooner rather than later to support David's channel. He's an absolutely wonderful booktuber. You should go and check him out. I will leave him and the tag and all of the information linked in the description below for you. But the tag is called the Extraordinarily Average Tag. Now, David is in no way average. I think he's absolutely delightful booktube channel, but I love the name of that tag. So the prompts, there's actually only 9 prompts in this one, so it's pretty short, and it does cover things from books to movies, not movies. No, it does too cover movies, books, TV shows, or movies, and music as well. So it's a great kind of mix of stuff, which are some of my favorite tags to do. But prompt number 1 is, what is a book that is viewed as average, but you felt was extraordinary? So this one I struggled with a little bit to come up with one, and the one I picked up, I feel like is always living in the shadow of another book and doesn't really get mentioned much in regards to this particular author. If you've watched my top 10, you may already know about this book. For me, it was part of my giveaway as well, and that is Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood. I actually have 2 copies of this one. This one is part of a giveaway, but the person actually never contacted me, so I'm still trying to figure out a time to do a redraw of it. But Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood is my number 2 book out of the first 100 books, and I always feel like people talk about Handmaid's Tale more than this one, or The Blind Assassin potentially, and not very much on Cat's Eye. And it is arguably my favorite Atwood novel. So I'm going to say Cat's Eye. Okay, prompt number 2. Who is an author who is viewed as average, but you felt was extraordinary? So I don't know if this author is viewed as average, but it's certainly not one that I had heard before starting my 1001 project. I read this author last year for one of the reading challenges for the football tournaments in Europe, which are hosted by Mark over at Book Time with Elvis. And this particular author is Naguib Mahfouz. And so Miramar and Medak Ali are the 2 books. These books are both set, I believe, in Egypt, if I remember correctly. Yes, Egypt in the late 1960s. And so I felt like these 2 books were really intriguing reads and things that I hadn't really read before. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with Naguib Mahfouz, and I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly, but definitely an author I feel like I want to explore some more. I think there's also something called the Egypt trilogy or the Cairo trilogy that I haven't read yet, or these might be part of that trilogy. I'm not entirely sure, but that's the author. All right, number 3, who is a musician or band whose music is considered average but you felt was extraordinary? I mean, I don't know. The one band that came to mind, which I have loved their music for a long time, is actually the Indigo Girls. I don't know why I like them so much, but I do. There's a number of songs that I really have listened to far more than I care to admit probably, but yeah, I don't hear about them. I don't hear a lot of them on the radio these days as well, but the Indigo Girls, we'll go with that one for today. Number 4, what is a TV show or movie that is considered average but you felt was extraordinary? I mean, define extraordinary. I love true crime or crime shows. I don't know why they appeal to me so much, but they definitely are right on the top of my list. And so the one I have been binge watching is Criminal Minds, which is so silly, but there's a character in that called Spencer Reid, who is, incredibly smart and very well read, and has a type of memory I can't remember. That's ironic. It's on the tip of my tongue too. But there's a character named Spencer Reid who is absolutely eidetic. Maybe that's it. Memory. And I really like his character, though the last couple of parts, I didn't like what they were doing to the poor Spencer Reid, but that is one. Movie-wise, I have to go back to 80s movies, like Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. I have watched that movie so many times. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I love the music in that as well. It's just, yeah, it's one of my favorite all-time movies from the 80s anyway. All right, we're going to move on from that topic because I could talk about books or movies and TV shows probably about as much as I can talk about books. So number 5, what is a booktube channel whose subscriber count is average but you feel is extraordinary? There are so many possibilities for this, including David Wiley. David Wiley has 664 subscribers at the point that I'm filming this particular video, and deserves so many more than that. He is such a wonderful booktuber and supportive of other channels as well. Absolutely wonderful person who has sent me books, and we've sent things to each other off and on over the last year and a half since I've been on BookTube. Absolutely wonderful channel. I'm sure he didn't intend that question to have him shout it out multiple times, but the other ones that come to mind for this is Margaret Pinard. Margaret Pinard is a wonderful author and booktuber and authortuber who is very supportive of the booktube community and authortube community, often hosts live streams with other people to get them used to it, offers to help you figure out how to do it, as well as being just a wonderful reviewer, and reads a lot of historical fiction. And I wish she had more subscribers. I think she's also in the 600s. And then I have so many I could mention in here. The other one is Elizabeth over at Bookins and Books. I adore her channel quite a bit. She is one that started her BookTube channel because of the BookTube prize and thought that a channel was required in order to vote or in order to participate as a judge. And she gave it a trial of 6 months, and here she is, I don't know how much later, still doing BookTube channels, or BookTube videos, which is absolutely amazing. She reads a wide variety of different books and has a very unique perspective, and she certainly deserves a lot more subscribers than she has right now. So those are the ones I'm going to say: David Wiley, of course, Margaret Pinard, and Elizabeth at Bookins and Books. So definitely go check them out. I will leave them all linked in the description below for you. All right, number 6, what is a skill you're average at, but you'd like to become extraordinary? This one is an easy one for me to answer, and that is skiing. I go down the hill on skis. I don't know if you could call what I do skiing. Yeah, I'm horrible at it. I don't even know if I'd be considered average. I'm terrified of going fast. I'm terrified of hurting myself. Maybe that's just the 50-year-old in me talking. I wish I had learned when I was younger. But the faster I go, the more scared I get. And then I slow down, which makes it ironically harder to do. And so, yeah, it's just as... If I could ski and keep up with my husband, even if I could keep up with my husband from a way of I'm willing to go on the same runs as him and he beats me to the bottom every time, I'd be okay with that. But that fear of getting hurt, man, I don't know. It's just a tough one. I don't know if I'll ever be the skier that I want to be either. So that's kind of my answer, skiing. Whatever number I was at. Number 7, you find a time machine that will take you back in time for a day, but the day you select must be an average day. Where would you go and what would you do to make the trip extraordinary? I thought about this one for quite a while earlier today, and I would say 1920s Paris. Not a specific day, not a big event day, just a regular day in Paris in the 20s. To me, it's 100 years ago now. My goodness, that just seems like a time I want to visit. It reminds me very much of a movie with Owen Wilson where he thought that was the best time in the ever and wanted to travel back there. And when he got there, there was another character who thought the 1800s was the best time ever. But Paris is my favorite city in the world, and I'd love to see that old-timey charm of Paris in the 20s. Anytime, maybe pretty much any time in Paris, unless there's like a plague going on or a war. Yeah, but any other time in Paris. I don't think I'd need to do anything too much to make it extraordinary. I want to go sit at a cafe and drink a coffee and have a pastry while people watching. That's really all I want to do. That's really all I want to do anytime I go to Paris, even now. All right, number 8, you win a week vacation, but all of the popular travel spots are all booked out. Where would you go and what would you do to make the trip extraordinary? My favorite kinds of vacations are things like hiking and being outside somewhere. Even if I was staying here in my hometown, doing like multiple hikes that are normally very, very busy on the weekend. That sounds like the most magical weekend. I am happy camping. I'm happy being outdoors. I love doing adventure type things like a backpacking trip, which I've done before, or a kayaking camping trip, which I've done before. So anything outside. It doesn't even have to be anywhere extraordinary from a location perspective, but just somewhere outside. That's all I want. Just let me go outside and play. And number 9, tag some extraordinary channels. So I think for this one, let's see how this goes. I think for this one, I'm going to bring back my jar. I have not done this in a while. I don't know who's in this. So we're going to, it's been so long since I've drawn. I don't know how this is going to go. So we'll see. Let's see. The first one is actually perfect. Book Time with Elvis. This is Mark's channel. Mark has a lovely dog named Elvis. Mark, you are tagged in this one. I don't think you've been tagged yet. So yay, that's a perfect one for this tag. And then the next one, let's see who we get. The next one is Kevy over at Say Kevy. Kevy has a lovely channel as well. We have read numerous murder mysteries together. Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers, which we didn't like, and Mary Roberts Reinhardt. So absolutely, Kevy, you are tagged in this. And then the last one, let's go. Who is it? It is The Reading and Writing Life, which is Amanda's channel. I'm actually in the middle of doing a buddy read with Amanda right now. We are reading a health book, which I'll talk about short in the next week or so. But Amanda, you are tagged. So I'm going to tag those 3 channels. And I don't think David had tagged them yet, or any of the other versions of this that I've seen so far. So those are great ones. Yay! Sometimes the jar is kind and sometimes the jar is like, what? Okay. Yeah, but moving on. But as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.